operation, the key elements of the military junta AFRC staged another coup to overthrow the Third Republican Constitution in December 1981.
That I will uphold
the sovereignty,
the
integrity
integrity
of Ghana.
That I will be faithful
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I dedicate myself
The service and well-being.
Fourth Republican Constitution. This was designed by a consultative assembly appointed by the military junta PNDC that overthrew the Third Republican Constitution. They designed a hybrid constitution which has elements of the Westminster system and the American Constitution. Why this constitution has lasted over 3 decades and whether or not it could be sustainable in Ghana's fourth effort at full democracy are the reasons for the 77 stories. All the stories are true and are written from the perspective of a political news reporter who saw the stories but also knew the backstories and many of the antecedents to the stories. Thus, the book is comprehensive and its editorial stories published at the end indicates the verdict that the writer passes on some of the key issues. And finally, the book launch is Friday 29th November. Make sure you do not miss it and certainly grab a copy.
Former President John Dramani Mahama raised some concerns because I don't see them to be questions but rather concerns. And the first one is, why is the CD to dollar rate 17 cedis now? The question should be, why was the CD to dollar rate 4 Ghana cedis but then you couldn't provide common chalk for our schools to teach our students, for our teachers to teach our students? Possible for anybody at all on this earth to implement free senior high school in Ghana. Why? Why couldn't you do all this when the CD to dollar rate was 4? Why were you not able to pay government workers their salary when the dollar to CD was 4 Ghana cedis? Why? Because running a country successfully does not solely depend on the CD to dollar rate, but rather good governance, good policies, good implementations of policies. These are what matters and these are what you lack, and these are the reason why we will never vote for you again. Today, the CD to dollar rate is 17 cedis, but we don't even use chalk in our schools. We use marker pens in our schools and marker boards. Meanwhile, you couldn't even provide chalk when it was 4 cedis. Today, we have restored the nursing training and the teacher training. We are wise now. We, the youth of Ghana, are wise now. No one will go back. DMB is winning these elections, hands down.
Videos, man for be under the comment section will be saying, say, you are poor and you are supporting MPP. You are poor and you are supporting MPP. Me kasa nyanko podi animonyam say, bi anka me awfo Ghana say bi anka me no anase mantamu esika wawa. Kami support MPP ni Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumiaka. Esa say baby am free no sika ni ha say, MPP di good policies eba no. Nti am support MPP. Because me no me de bi ameka, baby am free no. Free senior high school man kenye. Free senior high school man. Nkaye nye school ko da. Free senior high school man. Nkaye binimu de. Nkaye ntimi kura nsi obi nkabo. Nti na me support MPP. Muntu abama Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia why. No meto free senior high school so nti sa de a. Ye binimu de ye behefra. Ye behefra. Ye hu ba ye mobo because ya wo fo olibi. Ade ati na ya wo fo anko afo ma ye didi. Oh, me da mo asimu ma ba.
Finally, 9 days to go. And for us, and oh, where's the book? Oh my goodness, I don't have a book here. I left it in the car. Okay, And for us, it's one day to go to the book launch. But this evening, we have a big deal. Welcome to Good Evening Ghana. We're going to resolve the problem that you've been seeing on social media. So who drove Mahamudu Bawumia's bus? Is she a KIA? I saw something that was very interesting. The person said on social media, an American basketball player in Illinois called Isifu. I said, what is the meaning of this? Anyway, so Marianne is in the studio right now. She's here. She's going to talk to us. And the other KIAs who have benefited from the driver, that's Marianne on your screen. Marianne is right here. She's going to talk to us. She'll tell us who she is, what happened yesterday, why she was driving the electric bus, etc., etc. And then we have the evidence of the KIAs who have actually been trained as drivers, who also drive the electric buses. They will all be in the studio tonight. They're already here. And then they will be coming to talk to us. So those KIAs who have been trained to drive the buses are here as well. And Marianne is here as well. But we'll begin with the bombshell. Former Director of Communications at the Office of the President, Koku Anyidoho, stalwart of the NDC, is in the studio. And he'll be telling us about what he's been doing over the last few weeks. He's been going to, Koku Anyidoho's eternal pursuit these days is to establish the name, the credible name, and the legacy of the former president, John Evans Atta Mills, of course, former commissioner of IRS as well. That's Koku Anyidoho and NPP running mate Matthew Poku Prempeh, who supported Koku's agenda to establish the good name of Professor Mills in his own hometown, Otuam. I'm going to ask him, what happened when he went there? Where were the Mills family? Did they come? What happened? This is all of the pictures. And then we'll ask Koku Anyidoho that it's 9 days to go, who is going to win the election. Of course, he knows how elections are won. And people talk about Koku Anyidoho and remember him for saying in 2016, that NDC is in a comfortable lead. But those of us who have been around remember that it was Koku Anyidoho who was the first voice at about 3 a.m. on December 9th, early hours of December 9th, 2008. He was the first person to have announced that NDC has won the parliament. I remember that. I was standing by him when he did that on his mobile phone in front of Kuku Hill, in front of Professor Mills' office. It was 3 a.m. and journalists had gone there to what is happening. And he was speaking to, I think, Peace FM. And he said that he can now authoritatively confirm that the NDC has won the parliament. I was there. That was Koku Anyidoho as well. Tonight, maybe we'll talk to him about that. So he knows about elections, and he knows how people win elections. He knows the feel, and he can tell when somebody is going to lose and somebody is going to win. That's going to be part of our conversation tonight. We're just 9 days to go. But we begin with Sami Gyamfi. Samuel Gyamfi, the propaganda secretary of the National Democratic Congress. Today, his videos are popping up from 2020. And what he said, I just hope that he's changed his mind. I hope that he's regretted it. He won't say it again. But what he said was very, very damning. It was in 2020. He said that the NDC party, if they were to win the elections, they would deal with the security agencies. That they would deal with the police because the police have made their employment tenure coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. So if Akufo-Addo loses the 2020 election, which he was sure Akufo-Addo was going to lose, the police will also end their career and their work with the Ghana Police Service. Listen to Sami Gyamfi, 2020.
The police officers there, they are making their police career, the military officers, they are making their career in the military, that respected state security agency, coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. The military officers, they are making their career in the military, that respected state security agency, coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. The day President Akufo-Addo will exit office will be the last day they will serve as policemen and military men. And we will deal with them mercilessly. That is the message we are sending across to them. The police officers there, they are making their police career, the military officers, they are making their career in the military, that respected state security agency, coterminous with that of President Akufo-Addo. The day President Akufo-Addo...
I'm not sure what the police did to offend him, but this is what he said. I hope that he's changed his mind. There's special voting on Monday. The police are going to vote, and after that, they'll be ready for the election on Saturday. And also, the first aircraft from the United Kingdom International is flying out of Gatwick Airport on Monday night, by Ethiopian Airlines and is landing in Opim Source Airport, Prempeh, the first international airport in the Ashanti region, Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. I will be in Kumasi on that fateful day to welcome the first flight. Everyone should be there. I mean, this is significant. This is the first international flight flying into Ghana and not landed in Accra. Whoa, what a wow. Who has done it? Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. And who? Mahamudu Bawumia. But who first put lights at the airport so that planes can land there? John Dramani Mahama. The MPP said that when he put lights there, it was more expensive than the terminal that Bawumia built. But anyway, we'll get to that. But the good news for Ghana is that now we have certainly operationalized an international airport in the Ashanti region. On Tuesday morning, a flight is coming. An Ethiopian Airlines flight is flying from Gatwick. It will do 6.5 hours. It will land in the Ashanti region in Kumasi. It will be a delight to see. And I'm sure that if the opportunity is given to Mahamudu Bawumia in the immediate future, 2025, planes will come out of Saudi Arabia, out of Jeddah, out of Dubai, and they will land at the Tamale International Airport. Let's hope for the best. It is a hopeful country. It's a youthful population. We are great people. Let's go get the vote out of the way, get a new government, support them, and let's push the agenda of Ghana, the agenda of one district, one factory, the agenda of free SHS, the agenda of anti-corruption, the agenda of digitalization. Let's all together push this agenda for Ghana. 9 days to go. All right. That was at the Peace Council. I mean, I don't like this Peace Council thing. And I got a post. Producer, you didn't tell me. Anik Karim Osabutes did a post. Please make it ready. I sent it to you. Yes, this one. Take it off. I'll come back to it when I'm done. Sorry, viewers, forgive me. I feed on social media too much. You know, sometimes my children come and they think that you, the old man, you're on social media more than us. But I'm always on. Last night at 3 a.m., I was watching TikTok. I had a good laugh, and I heard the dog barking. I think he thought I was being attacked because I was laughing very loud. I was watching TikTok. I said, oh, my goodness. Whoa. I said, oh, he should shut up. His name is Charlie. I told Charlie to shut up. This is my pet. And he's very huge. You know, those of you who are in Teshinungwa, you know Charlie. You know how when I'm walking around with him, they see him. He's very, very big. And so when he heard me laughing at 3 a.m., I thought he thought I was being attacked by somebody. So he started wooing and jumping onto my window, and I just told him to shut up. It's just TikTok I'm watching. So I was watching social media when I saw Anim Osabute's thing. But this is Mahamudu Bawumia, the vice president and the man in pole position to win the election 9 days from now. Mahamudu Bawumia is running policies to institutionalize digitalization and to make significant changes in the way in which the Ghanaian economic planning works. He's taking out roads from the government budget. He's doing many, many things. He has an education minister by his side, Kosei Oduchum, who wants to revolutionize education. The era of chalk is not available. It's all gone. Mahamudu Bawumia is also believed to be the one who can actually stem the tide in our economic difficulties. Already some things are happening, as you have seen. The dollar is stabilizing at a certain level, etc., etc. Tonight, we have a lot more to say about that after Koku Anyidoho is gone, because I heard an argument that some people were saying that those praising Akufo-Addo for the East Legon, Accra-East Legon overpass should stop praising him because Akufo-Addo did not use his own money to do the East Legon. I don't even understand it. They say Akufo-Addo did not use his own money to do the East Legon. But which president, but does Akufo-Addo have that kind of money that can do the East Legon? Akufo-Addo doesn't have money even to do a quarter of that. Now, I don't know any individual. That's a lot of money. Akufo-Addo used the taxpayers' money, and that's what the vote 9 days from now is about. The vote 9 days from now is about, let me put it, okay. The vote 9 days from now, it's about putting the national resources. They will give you free SHS. They will give you flower pots. They will give you international airport. They will give you a confit factory. So the decision and the choice we are making 9 days from now, who do we hand this wallet to? Should we hand the national wallet to Mahamudu Bawumia? Or should we hand the national wallet to John Dramani Mahama? How do we know whether Mahamudu Bawumia will handle the budget better than John Mahama or not? We just check their record. Who is Mahamudu Bawumia? Mahamudu Bawumia is a young man, son of Mumuni, who went to school in Tamale Secondary School, and after that he went abroad. He studied blah, 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 Canada, Oxford, etc. He liked academia, so he did a PhD and decided to teach economics in some of the important universities of the world. He was handpicked by former governor of the Central Bank Paul Akwa, brought to Ghana to be deputy, initially to be a research officer at the Bank of Ghana. He rose to become deputy governor, and then he became a politician. In 2008, lost election twice, became vice president. What has he done as vice president? He's been talking about that. Okay, so that's Mahamudu Bawumia, and he's asking for the opportunity to be president. John Mahama, he became a member of parliament, he became deputy minister, he became minister, he became vice president, and ultimately he became president. Okay, so who should we give those wallets to based on their history? What did Mahamudu Bawumia do with his life? And why should we give him the wallet based on something he did with his life? Tell me. He's telling us, do we believe him? Why should we on the other hand give it to John Mahama? What did he do with his life? When John Mahama was president, what did he do with the wallets that you gave him? Mahamudu Bawumia is promising that if I become president, I'll do X, Y, Z. Look at what I've done with vice president. When I become president and I'm the first decision maker, I will go this way, that way, that way. John Dramani Mahama has ever held that wallet before for 4 consecutive years. Indeed. Both candidates have been vice president. One candidate has been president before, the other hasn't. So the one who has been president before is asking us to make him president again. These are the issues that are bothering our minds with 9 days to go. Who do we give the votes to? If you are an undecided independent voter, who do you give the vote to? I understand that on television, the NDC is beating the MPP with television adverts by 7-3. Of every 7 adverts they play for NDC, they play 1 MPP. I don't know whether the MPP, I don't have money to pay or whatever. But I hear that's very, very interesting. Today I was on a platform with some foreign journalists and they were discussing it. And they were wondering the impact of advertising on voters, because all the latest polls coming out since the last 2 weeks are putting Mahamudu Bawumia clearly ahead. We are waiting for Musa Dankwa's final poll. I think it's going to come tomorrow. Then we'll see what he says. But all the polls coming out are putting Mahamudu Bawumia ahead by a slim margin, 50, 51, some say 49, 51, 50, all of that. And putting John Mahama around the same place, 46, 47, For the parliamentary, it looks like it's settled in a certain direction. I won't say which direction, but it looks like the parliamentary seems to be settled in a certain direction. Good evening. Welcome to the show, viewers. All right, so this is Mahamudu Bawumia signing the post. And now this is the big photograph. Mahamudu Bawumia and Samoa Boateng in the background with John Dramani Mahama. Peace Council, I'm coming to fight with you. We won't do any peace. We have peace already. Don't come and worry us. And viewers, guess what happened to me this morning? Where's my phone? Did I leave it there? Okay. About 10 o'clock this morning, I was doing my skipping and brought the phone to me. He said, you have a call. I said, who is it? I said, look at it. It said, Kwesi Pratt. I said, hey, bring the phone, bring the phone. So I click on it. Ambassador, Paul Adumochi. I said, yes, sir. What is wrong with you? I said, oh, Ambassador, what have I done again? I didn't mention your name. Then I said that when the police people came to the Metro studios, I wasn't there. You were there with Randy. Why are you calling me? He said, but that's not why I'm calling you. You have been telling all this your lies. I said, hey, Ambassador, which lies? Now you are putting these lies in a book. I said, oh, you haven't invited me. I said, oh, Ambassador, don't worry. The book is not lies, it's truth. He said, okay, you send me a copy. I said, I'll send you. He said he wanted 10 copies. I said, don't worry, I'll send you 20. He said, I didn't ask for 20. I said, give me 10. So no problem. Ambassador Kwesi Pratt, good evening. You know that you and I are all apostles of the Cuban Revolution. And I keep saying that. People don't know that we are very close because we all focus on Fidel Castro. Fidel is our man. Raul is our man. So here is John Dramani Mahama and Mahamudu Bawumia shaking hands with Samoa Boateng looking on. Peace Council, what is your problem? What is it? What is it? What is the peace about? But the speech that Bawumia gave was exquisite. I mean, you listen to the guy, this is so presidential. This is just too presidential. Anyway, let's see what Ghanaians decide on 9th of 9 days to go. I'm guessing this is Mahama. But Mahama Yariga and Mr. John Mahama, are they wearing the same thing? Viewers, check it. Hassan Ayariga, sorry. Hassan Ayariga, thank you for the correction. This is President Mahama, former President Mahama's smock. It doesn't look like a Gonja smoke, but I don't understand it very well. But he's Gonja, so I'm guessing it to be. Oh, Dennis, I will beat you up. Oh. Okay. Oh, Dennis, I'll seize your phone. Oh. Why? Put that thing on and let's do the way. Thank you very much. So this is John Mahama. And then this is Hassan Ayariga. Please, they are wearing the same thing. They are definitely wearing the same thing. But Hassan Ayariga is not a Gunja. But that's Mahmoud Dubaw. We are shaking hands with Hassan Ayariga. I have to say something for Peace Council, though. I have to say something for Peace Council. I've been attacking them, but let me say this one for them. The fact that they put this together and that these photographs are coming out, I think will help the young Ghanaians to know that politics is not about fight. I think that's the only thing I'll give them. Apart from that, they are more warmongering. They should stop it. But this is good. Peace Council, I've given you 1/10. This one you've done well. Because the fact that without Peace Council's event, these photographs wouldn't come out, you see. So once these photographs are coming out, we have to say, Peace Council, you've done something good. Okay, maybe 3/10 or 4.5 or 3.5. 3.20/10 is fine. Dr. Akwete, good evening. How are you? Today, this one is 3.20/10. But it's okay. We don't want peace. We are not fighting. We are just going to vote. Let us. When British people are going to vote, they don't do peace. They just go and vote. Americans are going to vote. Well, the last American election, I have to admit that the security were mounting something at Kamala Harris's house. They were afraid of something. But that's the peculiar situation of Donald Trump and Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Barack Obama, all in a mix of some brutal enmity that's going on at the top of the American political hierarchy. So that's a different matter. It doesn't happen all the time. But this is good, Peace Council. You have given us photographs that will make people. Jean Mensah, the electoral commissioner, also addressing the event. Dr. Ekufu Dampare, the head of police, the Inspector General of Police, COP Dampare, and who is this Chairman Sabonsu? No, but I'm not sure who it is. Very nice, decent gentleman. I think he's one of the Peace Council members. Now, these are the clergy, our Lord's spiritual. They were also there to make the event happen. Oh, there was music. This is fantastic. I see Diana Akiomi, I think that's her. Diana Akiomi and some people, I believe they were singing a gospel song. So yes, the event was very well put together. Mahmoud Baumia sitting with Nana Dr. SKB Asante. I can see the Lord Chief Justice John Dramani Mahama, presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress. Dr. Akwete is the one on the podium speaking. And Sheikh Nuhu Sharabutu giving us photographs that will make Ghanaians know that indeed politics is not about fighting. But apart from that, please, we don't want you to be telling us that we are going to election. Me, this is my photograph of the moment too. Hassan Ayariga is a brutal guy. This one is my photograph of the moment. Hassan Ayariga, please tell Hassan that he's not called me in a very long time. You know, him and I, we used to break bread all the time in Kokomlemle in his office. And these days, he doesn't call me anymore. He doesn't call me to come and eat a work play and things like that. Tell him that, Hassan, tell him that I was complaining. I was complaining on TV. That these days, he doesn't call me to Kokomlemle office, then we can break bread. It's been a long time since he called me. But I'm following his campaign. So, Ani Osabute, who we all know, said this. I stand to be corrected, but never saw this much peace pact ceremony under the late Rawlins's regime, despite the unfounded fear that he was not going to hand over power. Why should this give us a headache as a people at this time? Ani, 5,000% for you. It is somebody's industry. They are creating an industry, and they want an industry. Any peace, anything. In fact, when Koku Anyidoho comes, that's the first question I'll ask him. What is the relevance of this? He has been with Professor Mills, campaigning for 2-3 elections. He's seen it all. I'm going to ask him, what is this peace thing about? Annie, thank you very much. Okay, is Koku ready? They're putting a microphone on. Okay, I think I can take some text messages and then we go. But before then, let's watch the... yes. So tomorrow we'll launch this book, Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, the 77 stories that define Ghana's Fourth Republic. I don't know whether they still have the pictures from J. Kufuor. I'm so excited about that. But there was bad news in the Kufuor family today. We are concerned about the death of Kwame Adokufuor, one of the sons of Dr. Adokufuor. May he rest in eternal peace. It's a very devastating news to the Ghanaian people, the Apejafie in Kumasi, the royal family in Ashanti, and all of the people related to J. Kufuor. This is very, very bad. But may he rest in eternal peace. And so tomorrow we will launch the book. Let's look at the video of the book, and then by the time we come back, Mr. Anyidoho is.
There is a book that is about to be launched where it will walk you through on a constitutional rule. Since we introduced the constitution into our dispensation, we have a book that has been authored, that has been written by one of the most finest minds we have in media, we have in law, we have in telling the truth in this country. My friend, Apostle, me I they call him Apostle Paul. But the people on the internet, they call him Paul Adomotre.
Oh, okay, Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul. So Paul Adomotre has authored a book titled Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, 77 stories that define Ghana's fourth republic.
77?
The launch day, be on the 29th of November 2020. 31 years of what? The longest uninterrupted African democracy. 31 years of uninterrupted African democracy. We pay with you boast like that, bro. And you see, we for not make somebody come write one a story for us.
Okay.
We for not make somebody come tell one a story for us. That is why Apostle Paul has taken it on his shoulders to what? Tell our story. Through the democratic dispensation of the constitutional rule. Since what? The fourth what? Republic. Once again, 5 presidents, 6 vice presidents, 7 speakers, 8 parliaments, 31 years of uninterrupted what? Democracy, African democracy.
Uninterrupted.
Just
smooth.
Yes, transitions, cobra. We know they fight. Democracy. It is not democracy. We have practiced democracy to 6 p.m. A lot of things go happen. I understand. We have on the day of the launch, Paul Adomotre will talk about the book. He go try walking people through what to expect when they read. We have book reading too. Excerpts from the book will be read aloud, offering the audience a sneak peek in.
Where's my camera?
And I'll be on Kojo Sheldon's show very, very soon after the book launch. Sheldon, Charlie, glory, Man United. We are getting back. Amorim has come. We'll win the league. Don't worry, it is possible. From 12th position, we'll win the league.
This one, there's no possible.
Kojo Sheldon, me and you, we are together in the red. We'll win that league.
This one, there's no possible.
Oh, Mr. Anyidoho, are you Asra?
Of course.
Oh, but that one too is not possible. Antoinette, what are people saying?
Overgrown that, so we should not be having peace pact any longer. Now, Kwame Compson said that the organizers of the peace pact should have forced the 2 candidates to have the presidential debate instead of this peace pact. So he believes it wasn't necessary at all. Lily Will says Mahama signed the peace pact in 2020, but he incited his supporters to misbehave on the streets. He never congratulated Nana-Addo and even went to the court without any evidence. This must not happen again. Now, Nana Addo says, Mr. Paul, is it possible to book an interview appointment with President Akufo-Addo on probably 8th January 2025 to ask him a few questions, most especially how it feels a day after becoming an ex-president? I'm sure would have a lot to learn from him if such interview comes between you, he says. And lastly, Sugri Jonas, is it possible to book an interview appointment with President Akufo-Addo on probably 8th January 2025 to ask him a few questions, most especially how it feels a day after becoming an ex-president? I'm sure would have a lot to learn from him if such interview comes between you, he says. And lastly, Sugri Jonas, on the sharing of the national resources that Paul spoke about, he said the same national resources were given to the NDC, and what did they do with it? They plunged this country into darkness. The nurses and teacher trainees' allowances were cancelled, and the employment were free, so on and on.
All right, so a lot of people are congratulating Paul on the book. David says, congratulations to you, Paul. Now, Emmanuel says, Paul, please, can you bring the copies of your book to Acquisitions Department of the Ghana Library Authority headquarters at Accra Central? We will access and purchase them. Shadrach says, Baumia should have grabbed Mahama for the debate over there. That was his final chance to do so. Nananyako says, I want everyone to know that Dr. Baumia has nothing to lose in the upcoming election, but Ghana does if he doesn't win. DMB has had a promising career. As a matter of fact, the vice presidency has given him all the exposure he needs to do well in any endeavor he chooses to follow. Ghana has a lot to lose if DMB doesn't win because he's selfless and will work tirelessly for the ordinary Ghanaian just as he has done as vice president. And lastly, coming from UC says, good evening, Paul. Watching you live from Gambia. I like your analysis of Ghanaian politics. Now back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, Koku.
Go ahead.
Welcome.
Thank you, Paul.
How many elections did you do? 4?
Me?
8? 2004, 2008, or 2000? Or you did a 2001?
Yeah, I did 2001. I did 4. In fact,
2000, you did a national one where you with Mills, when Mills was first run.
2001.
200.
No, 200. I was not with him at Koku.
So you joined him after when he was in opposition.
Yeah, so
I remember that.
So 4.
So the primaries, the Kwesiboche one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your first one.
Exactly.
Then you did the Spiogabra one.
Exactly.
Well, how do we call that? Is it Ediana one or Spiogabra one?
Well,
because you were beating all of them, basa, so we don't know which one was the competitor.
Yeah, so we did a 2002 one at
Legon.
Central Caf.
Yeah.
Central Cafeteria. Then we did the 2006 one.
N block.
That one was something else. It was crazy. And you know,
then the national election. So all 4 national elections were with him.
Oh yes.
Then
in fact, Rojo Metelnono at the time was head of the Kukuyo campaign communications team. I was a member of that team, still working at Metropolitan and Allied Bank. So I took over from Rojo actually as head of communications for the 06 internal campaign, then of course for the national campaign, then of course 12.
So you have engaged
16,
with Peace Council
20.
and Peace.
Oh yes.
Should we do it? Myself, Kwesi Pratt, and Anya Osabuti think we shouldn't do it. They should stop wasting our time.
I think that for whatever surface purposes that it serves, I think we should do it.
Okay.
For example, I mean, you heard the national chairman of the MPP, Asiedun Ketia.
NDCO.
The national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Kujo Asiedun Ketia, in the past, rave and rant about the fact that they won't do it. You understand? To the extent that the Peace Council actually went to the NDC's headquarters and we saw footages of hooting and booing. Yeah, at the Peace Council. They were I mean, it's my party, so I follow it. And so when you have people like Asiedun Ketia and their kind of mindset that they have, just to incite people against state institutions, of course, let's be frank. I mean, President Mahama himself's disposition in the past, portended, danger. So if today we are seeing him, because he's a flag bearer,
photograph like this.
Yeah, he's a flag bearer of the NDC. He's the leader. I mean, nobody takes that one away from him. So if he steps up now and he's appended his signature to something like that, I think it calms nerves. And so for whatever nerve calming purposes that these things serve, why not? Let's accept it. It gives some nice. It puts a veneer over it, and I think that nobody should downplay and think that it doesn't serve a purpose. It does, psychologically. And this whole system is psyops anyway. So he has appended his signature to it. Asiedun Ketia cannot now sidestep the leader of the party and incite people again. That alone helps us walk into the remaining 9 days with a fair level of acceptance that we will run this thing and come out of it clean. Yeah, so I think it's okay. It's good.
You went into Professor Mills's hometown.
Yes.
Knowing that some of the Mills family are looking for your head. Were you not afraid?
Paul, so good evening to your listeners, viewers worldwide, wherever. Thanks for the opportunity once again. Congratulations. The book that you are about to launch.
I'm following from your...
Yes, I'm ahead of you. I'll always be your senior brother.
I know that.
From primary school, Burma Camp days. I'll always be. Congratulations also. You're still the board chair of Ghana Airport Company?
Yes, we are landing in Kumasi.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Tuesday, we are landing live.
I thought it was a joke.
It is happening.
And you are partnering with
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia Airlines?
The president wanted us to partner with an African airline. He won't take Virgin. He said, look.
Of course.
Kenya, Ethiopia, South Africa, take one of them.
Yeah, KQ. But I think Ethiopia is the best.
Yes, Ethiopia is the best now, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For those who think you are doing nothing, at least. So from Gatwick.
Yes, to Kumasi Straight.
That's PIA.
Prempe.
Accra is KIA.
Yes,
And this is PIA.
Yeah.
So you brought something home after all.
After all.
To Burma Camp.
To Burma Camp.
We are happy.
And the Air Force are happy.
Oh, I see. Great. Yeah, so to our issue of what happened.
How do you think you should go in there? I mean, doing the independence, the castle one is okay. But, you know, the MP doesn't want to see you. Some of the Mills family don't want to see you. Why did you go there?
But you see, that's the good thing. And reeling back to this Otuam thing and how it all happened. Of course, Paul, I didn't create Otuam.
No.
I didn't put Otuam on Ghana's map. It exists as a town in the central region in Ekumfi. All public records have stated and continue to state that the former president, His Excellency John Evans Samuels, hailed from Otuam. At his burial, I didn't read the tribute. So said the tribute. And his brothers were there. They never disputed it. And I have pictures. We have pictures of the president and the Otuam family. It's there all over the place. So this whole Otuam story, how did it happen? So I've been accused of renting some people from Otuam. That's the story. So says Samuel Tamils, MP for KEA. And until recently, Cadman also decided to join the cacophony. For the longest time, he tried to stay away from it, but this year he also allowed himself to be roped in. And so I'm supposed to be renting phantoms from Otuam. But this God that I serve, and we all serve. So let me tell the story of Otuam. So President Akufo-Addo graciously built Asumdwe Park. Now, you see this document.
Yeah, you can see it now.
Yeah, so this is it. That's why I came to the studio with
Galilee.
So the Galilee International Management Institute in Nazareth, Israel.
I see.
So in January this year, Paul, I found myself at Guinea, so Galilee International Management Institute, studying something.
Is that you there?
So that's me at the institute here in Nazareth.
In
Nazareth,
in Israel.
In Israel, yes.
You
traveled
there?
I traveled there
For a pilgrimage?
Yeah. Well, it was a training program, but I had the opportunity also to do. So that's me, and some of my mates. The two ladies are from Botswana. The other guy to the right, Eddie, is a Ghanaian. He came from Cocoa Board, and so this was international diplomacy, international relations, national security, and that was one of our course directors. So this is in Nazareth.
I see.
So, Paul, interesting. So at this program, we were there for about 2 weeks in January of 24. Then, apparently, this world. So the president of the institute kept mentioning the name of Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe. So Napo. So Napo happened to have also studied at the institute 2-3 years ago. And quite a number of Ghanaians also. Only for me to be given these documents. Now, this is University of Cape Coast. And this is 17th of May 2022. And this is to the president of the institute. Letter of what?
Read it. Yeah, turn it and read it.
Letter of commitment. Okay. For capacity building in precision agriculture in Ghana. Signed by the Pro Vice Chancellor of UCC, Professor Mrs. Rosemond Bohin. This is it.
Okay.
So apparently, this thing that Vice President Bawumia has been talking about, this whole digitalization thing that people want to laugh at, and I got attached to it, the concept. Yeah, we are doing politics, but when I got this thing from the institute, so when I was coming, then they gave me this letter to His Excellency the Vice President. This is dated 31st May of 2022. Long and short, Paul, this is the curriculum that has been developed, precision agriculture, online studies, whatever. So apparently, Dr. Bawumia and Napo, who was then education minister, this whole digitalization thing, trying to get the University of Cape Coast to engage the Galilee International Management Institute so we can bring precision farming to our agriculture here in Ghana, part of the technology digitalization concept. Now, I'm giving these documents because they have profiled me, and so they know that, yeah, you are a Ghanaian, you are there, up there. I mean, John Mahama and his boys can decide that they don't respect me or regard me, but the world respects me, and I'm grateful to God for that. So I'm giving this, Paul. So I'm NDC, and I'm giving this to bring to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. So because of this NDC, MPP petty politics, so I get to the Sea of Galilee, then I throw this document into the Sea of Galilee. Abro, wickedness. Or I arrive in Ghana.
What is the document? What's the letter? What is it about?
So this is the.
What are they asking?
So this is the.
To do?
So that this is the MOU signed by the UCC and the Institute
to partner in that regard.
Yes, and this is the curriculum that they have drawn now
to train Cape Coast
to train
students. Students at Cape Coast University.
And lecturers in precision agriculture.
What's the meaning of precision agriculture?
So let me just read this thing for you. So, the spirit of innovation has been part of the Israeli culture since its establishment in 1948. Israeli agriculture has been anticipating the effects of climate change for decades and is impressively adapted for arid and semi-arid climates. As a key player in the global agricultural landscape, the country benefits from a prosperous agricultural market founded on practical and cost-effective innovations and solutions rather than natural resources. So basically, that's it.
So agriculture that doesn't rely on rain and all that.
Exactly.
Irrigation and more. Okay.
So it's more. That's why it's precision.
So we need it.
We need it, and they have it. And this is what Dr. Baumia and Napo, as education minister, started working on for University of Cape Coast to have that critical mass of lecturers and students. Then they spread out into the Republic. So if I go studying as a Ghanaian, a citizen, as President Akufo-Addo says, that we should be citizens and not spectators. And I'm giving this document. So because I'm NDC.
Well, the NDC people saying that you shouldn't have given
No, I'm just having a conversation.
Okay.
We're coming back to Otwam.
Yes.
Now, the point I'm seeking to make is that in not being wicked and evil to the Republic of Ghana, in not being a petty politician, to think that if I bring this document to the government of Ghana, led by an MPP party, they will score some political points.
Major ones.
Major ones.
Yeah, agriculture is major.
That will not inure to my political party. And so I will hide this document, I will eat it up, I will burn it.
No, you wait. When you win.
Good. But time and tide waits for no man.
Doesn't.
My Bible tells me that I have today.
So you brought it to them?
So I brought it. I couldn't find the vice president, obviously busy. So somebody connected me with Napo, who had now become energy minister.
Oh,
so,
I see. This is not recent. He wasn't running mates yet.
No, he wasn't. This is January of this year.
Okay.
And on 20th January, I remember while I was there, I was at the Wailing Wall with the Ghana flag, praying that God, this is my Ghana, that Kwame Nkrumah and Co said that you should bless the country. Me, I'm here. This Wailing Wall, they say they come and pray. Me to bless my homeland Ghana for me. And I did so. So I give this document to Napo in his office as energy minister now. Of course, he remembers very well. And it's like, wow, you brought this thing to me. But you to this Ghana that is on your heart like this. Anyway, you are trying very hard to keep President Mills' legacy alive. Do you know that this President Mills, I knew him when I was a schoolboy. And I'm like, how? He says, Koku, look, it's a small world we live in. So he tells me the story of his mother's elder sister, who is married to a certain Mr. Dodu, registrar on Legon campus. So he, Napo, as a schoolboy in Kumasi, University Primary, will come to Accra for holidays with his elder auntie, who is Mrs. Dodu. Guess whose mother is Mrs. Dodu?
Tell me.
Professor Dodu Padigo.
The sports
guy.
Professor Mills's guy.
Professor Mills's guy.
I remember him. Yeah.
Who was at the presidency
he was,
with us under
yeah.
Mills.
Yeah.
That's Napo's first cousin.
Oh, I see.
Yes. You see how...
But Dodo is close to Mills, because Mills used to talk about Dodo even before he became president.
Good, because Padigo was a great sportsman.
Yeah. Walanyo Agra is the one who told me how close Dodo and Mills were.
Good.
I remember that.
Padigo.
Because we were doing coup d'etat, GFA coup d'etat. I don't know whether you were involved. And then Walanyo Agra said that, look, if Dodo is not with you people, it still won't work. I said, who is he? He said, Charlie and Prof are like this.
Like so.
I remember that.
Good.
Oh, I see. That's why I said Professor Mills guy.
Good.
Yeah.
So Padigo was at the presidency with us. And that's Napo's first cousin. So their mothers are sisters. And Napo actually told me in this conversation that Padigo currently is their head of family.
On the mother side?
On the mother side, Omudi Mamiade.
Oh, I see.
So his father is gone, all right. But on the mother side, he's head of family somewhere. So Napo is like Koku. So this is how I knew Prof as a small boy. You've gone to beg Nanado to build a Sunday Park. Me, Napo. Is there anything I can do to contribute my quota to what you are doing to keep the man's memory alive? Because I knew him as a schoolboy. He and my auntie's husband were very close friends. We used to play together. So that's when I said, Napo, you know what? I've been accused that I've been renting people into Otuam. So there's family in Otuam as far as I'm concerned. Just like when I met President Akufo-Addo and he asked me, what can I do for you? Blank check. I didn't ask for any personal thing. I said, Asumdwe Park. Napo, you know what? Let me put you in touch with the family. Ask them what they want. And let's continue from there. Long and short, that's how I put Napo in touch with the Otuam family. And that's what you see today.
Let's see the videos or the pictures, whatever you have. Let's see them. Okay, so what's this? Walk us through.
So this is it.
So what did they build?
So they built a new structure there from scratch. So it has, so it's like a guest house plus a library facility.
Okay.
So the library facility will be tooled, done well, and because I have a lot of material, we'll set up that library, the guest house facility, so that it can have its own internally generated funds to take care of certain things. So people can now visit. So we want to create a local economy around this structure.
So tourists can go to...
Exactly.
So it's called the President Mills
Memorial House and Library.
Okay.
So it has a kitchenette. So people can, families or researchers can actually go and stay in, live there for a week or two, pay a little thing. So you have the kitchen facility, you can cook for yourself, or for that matter.
So a professor at Legon on sabbatical
can go and sit there.
Research into something.
That's it.
That will fit the Mills image. He's a distinguished professor.
And that's what we have done. And you know...
So no, I'm interested in what did the Otuam family that are looking for you, what did they say when you got there?
So if there's a prayer, if your producer can, when we were cutting the sword, you hear the Queen, the Chidomhima Nana in Fiwa III, when she was pouring libation, she and the Bishop Kwabena Baini. This was in May when we were cutting the sword. And you know, I remember when we were cutting the sword, and I told Napo that why don't we go? So even in May, he was still not named running mate.
Yes.
So he was doing this out of extreme altruism. If he knew he was going to be running mate, I didn't know. But he was doing it out of extreme altruism. Now, last Thursday, Paul, was the first time Napo set foot at the site. So it means that over the period when the family decided that this is what they wanted, and you know what? Me too, Koku, I wanted a thing like this. Why? Because the Presidential Memorial Library Complex, Paul, that was built in Cape Coast, and I was a member of that committee. Mr. Kofi Totobi-Kwachi was the chairman of that committee. I've said it several times and I say it again. Koku Anyidoho, if you go to that library sitting at Cape Coast, Mr. Totobi-Kwachi made it clear to all of us committee members that at the time, this is 12, 13, 14, up to the time President Mahama commissioned that library in 16, that the telcos, the telecommunications companies, had fully funded the construction of that Presidential Memorial Library Complex. Kojo Manfi, the contractor, is alive. His office is at Ringway. Now, Kojo Manfi refuses to release the key to the complex because he says Kofi Totobi-Kwachi, chairman of the committee, has not paid him.
But didn't he say it's being funded, as you said?
I'm saying that is it. And I'm asking Ghanaians, as a member of the committee, I even suggested that we should put the plaque of our names at the frontage of that library so that they will know that this is the work that was done. But now, I feel that my family name is being abused because it sits on the frontage there. We haven't paid the contractor, and 17 names are there. Totobi Kwachi is the chairman. And this is a group of people.
Where is it? Which part of Accra?
Oh, it's in Cape Coast. Close to the
Cape Coast. Yeah, I remember.
Close to the Cape Coast Castle. And these are the things that Koku Anyidoho is not supposed to say. When he says it, it's because he's anti-JM. That is why he's saying what he's saying. For goodness sake. Paul, I was just telling somebody that the same Jesus who called Peter and the other 11 was the same Jesus who called Judas. If John Mahama chooses to be a Judas, that is his decision. I choose to be a Peter, on whom the church or the legacy of John Atamels shall be built. And Peter didn't need the permission of Jesus' brothers. So do I not need the permission of a certain Samuel Atamels, MP for KEEA. Neither do I need the permission of Cadman Atamels. They come nowhere near this equation because when President Mons was calling me, just as Jesus was calling Peter, the brothers of Jesus were not there. And so when President Mons was calling me one morning to work for him, and we covenanted, Samuel Atamels, KEA MP, he was loafing around in the US until victory came. And he jumped down to come and be at the castle with no portfolio, but makes all the noise. Go and ask him, 12 years. And today I will say it on your program. Ask Samuel Atamels. So I published my book. You two are publishing yours. Ask him, where is the PhD thesis that the president, his brother, gave to him to publish into a book?
In whose name?
In the president's name. Before the
President Mills?
Before he
passed. But he already had a PhD.
Yeah, no, his thesis. His PhD thesis. He wanted it developed into a book.
Yes.
So ask Samuel Atamels, who this year declared that he will eliminate me by juju, by tricks, and by everything. I'm asking him, Samuel Atamels, where is your brother's PhD he gave to you to publish into a book so that Ghanaians and the world
can see it?
Can see that at age 24, 25, 26, 27, what he wrote in his PhD thesis is what he fleshed out over the years as a lecturer on campus, both School of Administration, the law faculty, the law school, Ghana Association of Taxation, IRS into GRA, vice president. So ask Samuel Atamels, also mami kai one year. Samuel Atamels, Cadman Atamels, Abazin waye, Edia kai one brother no. Now Cadman Atamels, ask him whether Koku Anyidoho, 2 days after the death of their brother, the president. So the president dies on Tuesday. On Thursday, we go for a cabinet meeting.
Led by John Mahama.
Of course, he was the new president. After that cabinet meeting, that's when I told Cadman Atamels, I said, look, between your brother and I, we were discussing the future. And the plan was that post 8 years of presidency, we'll set up a foundation, just like President Kufuor. And then your brother wanted to go back into academia. So. But you see, I don't want to run ahead of the family. So you, Cadman, go and register this foundation, albeit temporarily. And as it were, place a lien on the name so that nobody will go and take it and now you have to run around and go chasing. Good counsel, he listened to me at the time and did so, got a temporary certificate, subsequently got a permanent one. Me, Koku Anyidoho, at a point in time, one of the oil companies wrote to me 100,000 USD, available for anything Atamels. I called Cadman and gave him that letter. Only God knows what happened to the 100,000 US dollars. So when these two brothers gang up and seek to call me a bad name, because I will not sell myself and my conscience to John Dramani Mahama, today they should go to Otwam and go and uproot that structure and throw away. If actually Professor Mills doesn't come from Otwam, they should go and uproot it and throw away. The God I serve.
So you've done two major monuments for Prof.
Two
This is
major.
a better photograph. Which one is this? What photograph is this?
So this is another side view.
Oh,
now
no.
you see the boulders.
It's big.
Yeah,
It's
you
big.
see the boulders.
Uh-huh.
This is how rocky the place was before the contractor managed to create a level surface to be able to put up that structure. So this is how the place was very rocky. But you see, this side that you are looking overlooks the sea,
the ocean.
The ocean. So
Oh,
when
it's
you
beautiful
when you stand there,
the sea is there.
Yes, it's just there. And when Napo came to this side of the structure, and it was like, wow. So Paul, last week Thursday was the first time Napo saw it
at the commissioning.
Now, back to my integrity that I cherish so much. So when this thing was agreed upon, Napo said, Koku, if this is what the family wants, I leave it to the the Tamils Institute and the family. You decide on even the architect, the contractor.
Everything.
For me, Napo, between me and my people, we will help fund it. So monies are given to me physically from a certain source. I sign for. Not at a state institution, so let's be clear. Paul, why didn't I sit down and chew kebab with the money?
What was you signed for it and gave it to them?
So I give it to the contractor. That's what you are saying. The point I'm making is that, so if I wanted to chop the money came to me.
Like some other people.
So I will buy chichinga.
But it's maybe too much to buy chichinga.
Oh, so chichinga is only the basic.
You buy a new car.
Thank you. You will buy other things. And then you live a very silly life on somebody's good intentions. So the day he asks that he wants to go and see the structure, then you now say, and a strong wind blew and the roof went away. And then the waters came and then the foundation went into the sea. So you know I'm now going to excavate the foundation, story after story.
So he came and he saw it?
He saw this and he was happy. And you know, Paul, I'm carrying this in my Galilee bag because it means a lot to me. Now, on the day this thing came up, then a friend of mine, I don't know, up to now I'm trying to look for the person, but a message came to my phone. And on your very wonderful program, let me just read it. So,
hello?
Good. Very short message.
I'm on TV.
So he comes, he says, Koku, my mate from University of Ghana, you were unassuming while we were students, especially when we first reported to school in the first year from 1990 to 1993. I never knew you have such a good, godly, and Christ-like character.
Wow.
Because as a child of a top military officer,
They think we are not godly.
exactly, they think that we were just cloned. Some of us thought, due to your no-nonsense stand, you won't mind anyone in life. But you have made me weep throughout the night.
Wow.
Watching this video of you honoring Professor Tamils in his hometown with his family and the entire Ikufi Otwam townsfolk.
Yeah.
That's good English, townsfolk. You not asking MPP to give you funds for yourself, but to build 2 monuments in memory of the late president. Koku, God will never forget what you have done. And Fantis will forever be grateful to you for your love for Fantis. We have a University of Ghana year group. One day, we will meet and hug and say, thank you for doing this for Fantis, and particularly Ekunfiman, you, someone who is an Ewe. Wow. All the Fanti gurus in NDC, like the Ahoys, etc., didn't find it worthwhile and prudent to respect the person, values, and contributions of the late president. May God richly bless you and your generation after you till the end of time.
Wow.
And I receive it. We Fantis, especially it was run down.
Yeah.
Nana Addo has given Nkrumah Mausoleum its current status.
Yeah.
The same Nana Addo, president, built Asumdwe Park. Is that not it? The same Nana Addo buried Rawlings' mother, state burial. Is that not it? And the same Nana Addo buried Rawlings.
Big state burial.
You think that God put Nana Addo in this space and time for nothing? He honors the first president of the Republic of Ghana.
He reconciled the Rawlings big time.
He honors the first president who dies in office.
Yeah, he did.
That's Mills.
Yeah.
And honors the first president of the Fourth Republic, Rawlings.
That's something.
That's deep.
It's deep. It means something.
It means a lot.
And these are people Nana Addo does not naturally
exactly.
like. That's very deep.
So if you ask
he has his major issues with Nkrumah, but the fact that he was the first president of Ghana, put it there.
Then he honors Mills, his mate in Legon.
Yeah. Who beat him into election?
Who beat him to an
he
election?
Said he's a Professor Doolittle.
And Koku Anyidoho was in the throes of that election.
Yeah, you were very much.
And when we beat and he did Asumdwe Park, then he buries Rawlings. You think it's for nothing? And the Bible says, he who watereth shall be watered. Yeah. He who honors shall be honored. Nana Addo, in another 3, 4, 5 weeks,
he's gone.
You are gone. Don't worry. If nobody will honor you, God will give me life, I will honor you too. He's done well. Addo has done well. And you see, Paul, he's talking about Judas. And when he committed suicide, and my Bible tells me so, and I believe it. When the 11 disciples gathered to look for a replacement, it was between Matthias and another Joseph. And the Bible said they prayed to God that God should look at the hearts of the 2 men and give them who is fit. And Bible says they cast lots, and the lot fell on Matthias.
They prayed before they cast the lots.
They prayed before they
That's
cast.
interesting.
9 days from now, we are going to cast lots of unifying and honoring people. Because President Mills himself, one of his oft repeated phrases was that a nation that does not honor its heroes,
it's not worth dying.
That is why the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah, he named it after Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes, I remember that.
It was Nadu First Lady who went to Singapore.
He sent his wife there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when the FPSO came, he named it after Kwame Nkrumah. He brought the Kwame Nkrumah holiday.
Yes.
I was with him in Addis. In fact, I wrote his speech, humbly so, when he delivered it at an AU summit in Addis to a standing ovation. And that's how the AU adopted 21st September as a special event.
And put the statue there.
Yeah, good.
The Nkrumah statue there.
So that statue. So prior to that AU summit, the Chinese, who are all over the place, we thank them, had built this new AU building in Addis. And so the lot fell on Ghana. And so Don Atta, Dr. Don Atta,
yes, I know him.
an architect par excellence, and this same Kojo Manfi, who built that Presidential Memorial Library Complex in Cape Coast, who has not been paid, the two of them combined forces to put up the Nkrumah statue.
Also put up by Ghanaians.
It was Ghanaians.
Wow, it's beautiful.
And then President Mills invited President Rawlings, the late Professor Francis Nkrumah, Samia Nkrumah, our good friend Alan Tremantin, who was then a commissioner.
Yes.
Was there that day.
For the commissioning.
And then our ambassador to Addis at the time was Kwesi Korte. So it was a wonderful event. I think, if I'm not lying, Justice Sophia Kufu was also doing something with the AU at the time. Then my own senior brother, Eugene, I think, if I'm not lying, Justice Sophia Kufu was also doing something with the AU at the time. Then my own senior brother, Eugene Owusu, he was the UN res rep in Addis at the time. It was a Ghanaian thing.
So you brought all the Ghanaians around
come
together.
on.
Oh, this was beautiful.
So me, Koku, when I walk in my Ghanaianness, it's not because I have ditched my political party. I've always been a Ghanaian. But the beauty of joining political parties, but I am not in servitude. My service is to God, to country. That's it. Yes, I will serve through a political party, but Ghana will always be first on the agenda. So here I am, Paul. If I had thrown this document away, I wouldn't have met Napo. And this thing would not have been done. And I'd have still been in abeyance.
This is powerful.
I mean, Paul, this is my story, and I thank Napo
Thank you very
for
much.
it. And like I've
Thank you
said,
very much.
9 years, 9 days from now, God should grant us a leader, not a ruler.
A leader, not a ruler. Do you have text messages? Okay, thank you very much, Koku Anyidoho. We have some ladies we have to talk to. Excellent. We'll call you 9 days from now.
Sure.
After that,
I'll be available.
and then we'll talk to you.
I'm on my way to Volta region.
Okay, I'm sure after the election you have more to say.
Sure. Congratulations.
Thank you
for the book. I'll be back. Thank you.
All right. Or shall we take a break? Let's just take a break and get the people ready. Please get the ladies ready. Let's take a break now. Mary, the driver of the bus, and the people, they are all here. They are coming after the break.
Joe kind of books. Okay. But what be your interest? Do you like romance, financial technology, or political? Then history. This is history. Okay, the late.
Political things because I want to enter into the political.
Oh, the person enter into political.
Yeah, I want to make a shaman great.
Joe, no problem. How about I tell you, say there is a book that is about to be launched where he go walk you through on a constitutional rule. Since we introduced the constitution into our dispensation, we have a book that has been authored, that has been written by one of the most finest minds we have in media, we have in law, we have in telling the truth in this country. My friend, Apostle, me I they call him Apostle Paul. But the people on the internet, they call him Paul Adomotre.
Oh, okay, Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul. So Paul Adomotre has authored a book titled Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, 77 stories that define Ghana's fourth republic.
77?
The launch day, be on the 29th of November 2024, venue International Conference Center. So the
Conference Center.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let me walk you through. So, Africa's new constitutional leadership, 77 stories that define Ghana's fourth republic. We have had 5 presidents, 7 speakers, 6 vice presidents, 8 parliaments, 31 years of what? The longest uninterrupted African democracy. 31 years of uninterrupted African democracy. We pay with you boast like that, bro. And you see, we for not make somebody come write one a story for us.
Okay.
We for not make somebody come tell one a story for us. That is why Apostle Paul has taken it on his shoulders to what? Tell our story. Through the democratic dispensation of the constitutional rule. Since what? The fourth what? Republic. Once again, 5 presidents. 6 vice presidents, 7 speakers, 8 parliaments, 31 years of uninterrupted what? Democracy, African democracy.
Uninterrupted.
Just smooth. Yes, transitions, Cobra. We know they fight. Democracy. It is not democracy. We have practiced democracy, not democracy. And that is what Apostle Paul is going to talk about in Africa's new constitutional leadership. Once again, let me give you 33 years of the longest uninterrupted African democracy. So Africa's new constitutional leadership, 77 stories that define Ghana's fourth republic, told by Paul Adomotre. As I said, on the 29th of November, Friday, this Friday, it is happening. The launch is happening at the Accra International Conference Center. Accra International Conference Center. The time is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. A lot of things will happen. Right? Understand? We have on the day of the launch, Paul Adomotre will talk about the book. He go try walk you people through what to expect when they read. We have a book reading too. Excerpts from the book will be read aloud, offering the audience a sneak peek into what captivating content. Q&A today. If you want to ask Apostle Paul some question, I will give you the chance to ask him. Book signing. Apostle Paul will put his signature for some of the books for you. It authenticate the melancholy melancholy of what the alacrities. You understand? And a special guest, including notable actors that have shaped the Fourth Republic story so far. You understand? See, almost shape story, no. The players, almost shape story in our, democracy, in our democratic dispensation, they will be there and everything. What do I say? Ladies and gentlemen, that is what is going to happen. So media will be there. I love things like this. Me and Gasa, because, bro, we need to understand. We need to tell our story. And as per somebody they tell on a story, before learn on a story, before learn on a history. Learn what happened. Not just be one of those people where they argue, hey, my party be tell me, say no. And all the information you need about a democracy for the past 31 years, the presidents that we have had, the vice president, series of events that led, bro, a lot of things this book that Apostle Paul is going to, put in the book for you people to go out there and read it and everything. Once again, the venue is Accra International Conference Center. The time is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. The title of the book is Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, 77 stories that define Ghana's Fourth Republic. 77 stories, notable stories that define Ghana's Fourth Republic. Since the Fourth Republic was introduced, these are notable stories that have defined us. You need to understand, you need to know the reason why we are enjoying democracy and everything. How we have been able to, vote for this leader, vote against this leader, bring in this leader, transition of power without fighting, without going to war. Bro, why do you think they call us the beacon of democracy? It not be just nickname. It is because we the show working. True. We the show working. We the go elections free and fair and peaceful. Oh man, I know we talk to some skirmish. By the end of the day, there is a reason why they call us the beacon of democracy, because other countries go to the polls and it is disastrous of the disastrous. That is why we need to tell our story to the world. They need to understand the 77 stories that have redefined us in the Fourth Republic. And Apostle Paul is spearheading the conversation through the book titled 77 Stories That Define Ghana's Fourth Republic. Africa's New Constitutional Leadership. 77 stories that have defined Ghana's Fourth Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we talk plenty. Now, let's make a hammer on the time again. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Accra International Conference Center. 29th November, I will be there. I ain't gonna go. I need to media. I go learn. I go and I go buy too. You understand? The book I go buy something. So, ladies and gentlemen, we could enter them, but make I read something small about Apostle Paul for you. Paul Adomachi is a multiple award-winning Ghanaian political journalist who has covered politics in Ghana for a quarter of a century. He has covered politics in Ghana for a quarter of a century. Do you know a quarter of a century? So experience new boom. Experience. He has hosted Ghana's leading TV political talk show for the last 23 years. He holds Bachelor of Arts and also an LLB, both from the University of Ghana, and an MSc in Violence, Conflict and Development from the University of London School of Oriental and African Studies. He also holds a PR practice and has published political documentaries. Experience. That is what you are going to, bro. You are going to experience in the book. Be part of this. No go sit somewhere. No. Be part of this. Once again, on the 29th of November, we are all heading to Accra International Conference Center. It starts from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come and let us launch Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, 77 stories that have defined Ghana's Fourth Republic. Authored, written by Paul Adom Ochre, aka Apostle Paul. Yapon.
We acknowledge the arrival of His Excellency, President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Agyekum Kufuor. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
John Agyekum Kufuor was born 80 years ago in 1938. He was born into royalty, into the 400-year-old Ashanti Kingdom in Kumasi in Ghana. Mr. Kufuor studied at Prempeh College and later at the University of Oxford, where he earned a bachelor's in political science, philosophy and economics.
The fact that Ghana is talking about the Fourth Republic brings up an obvious question. What is or what happened to the First Republic, the Second Republic, and the Third Republic? And will there be a Fifth or Sixth Republic? The legitimacy of this question and its potential answer are the reasons for this book. First Republican Constitution.
I, Kwame Nkrumah.
This was an American-style executive constitution Ghana gave to itself in 1960 after having removed the last hurdle of colonialism by replacing the imperial majesty, who was the head of state, with an elected president. This presidential constitution was overthrown in February 1966.
We present to you Dr. Kofi Anyidoho.
Second Republican Constitution. A British-style constitution with a bicephalous executive, started in 1969, overthrown in January 1972. It was designed by a consultative assembly appointed by the military junta which overthrew the first constitution. They designed a strictly British parliamentary system with a prime minister and a ceremonial president or head of state.
And well-being of the people of Ghana.
Third Republican Constitution. The Consultative Assembly designed a classic American-style presidential constitution with a strict separation of powers between the legislature and the executive. After 2.5 years of operation, the key elements of the military junta, AFRC, staged another coup to overthrow the Third Republican Constitution in December 1981.
That I will uphold
the sovereignty,
the integrity
of Ghana.
That I will be faithful
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I dedicate myself
To the service and well-being.
Fourth Republican Constitution. This was designed by a consultative assembly appointed by the military junta, PNDC, that overthrew the Third Republican Constitution. They designed a hybrid constitution which has elements of the Westminster system and the American Constitution. Why this constitution has lasted over 3 decades and whether or not it could be sustainable in Ghana's fourth effort at a full democracy are the reasons for the 77 stories. All the stories are true and are written from the perspective of a political news reporter who saw the stories but also knew the backstories and many of the antecedents to the stories. Thus, the book is comprehensive and its editorial stories published at the end indicates the verdict that the writer passes on some of the key issues. And finally, the book launch is Friday, 29th November. Make sure you do not miss it and certainly grab a copy. The fact that Ghana is talking about the Fourth Republic brings up an obvious question. What is or what happened to the First Republic, the Second Republic, and the Third Republic? And will there be a Fifth or Sixth Republic? The legitimacy of this question and its potential answer are the reasons for this book. First Republican Constitution.
I, Kwame Nkrumah.
This was an American-style executive constitution Ghana gave to itself in 1960 after having removed the last hurdle of colonialism by replacing the imperial majesty, who was the head of state, with an elected president. This presidential constitution was overthrown in February 1966.
We present to you Dr. Kofi Anyidoho.
Second Republican Constitution. A British-style constitution with a bicephalous executive, started in 1969, overthrown in January 1972. It was designed by a consultative assembly appointed by the military junta which overthrew the first constitution. They designed a strictly British parliamentary system with a prime minister and a ceremonial president or head of state.
And well-being of the people of Ghana.
Third Republican Constitution. The Consultative Assembly designed a classic American-style presidential constitution with a strict separation of powers between the legislature and the executive. After 2.5 years of operation, the key elements of the military junta, AFRC, staged another coup to overthrow the Third Republican Constitution in December 1981.
That I will uphold
the sovereignty,
the integrity
of Ghana.
That I will be faithful
And true to the Republic of Ghana.
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I dedicate myself
To the service and well-being.
Fourth Republican Constitution. This was designed by a consultative assembly appointed by the military junta, PNDC, that overthrew the Third Republican Constitution.
For the next 10 minutes, we are going to unravel the story on social media. Last 2 days ago, Mahmoud Baumia, the MPP presidential candidate, launched the electric buses across the country. Marianne, or is Marianne, what's your name? Mary Nanako? Lalaku.
Agul.
So you drove the vice president?
Yes, please.
In the electric bus?
Yes, please.
What's the difference between driving electric and the Ayalolo buses that you drive?
Okay, the difference between that two is that with the yellow bus is a little heavier than the electric bus, and with the electric bus too, it's very flexible.
So the story that was put out is that Joy FM put something up. Maybe they'll put it up now and then we'll look at it. They put something up and said that, yeah, there it is. It says, trained Kayayo bus driver drives Baumia in electric bus during graduation ceremony. And then this photograph went viral and everybody said, this lady is not Kayayo, we know her. She's been driving bus all the time. I've sat in her bus before. So you are not a Kayayo trained driver, but you were part of the 2017 training that was done by the government for the ILO drivers. Yes, now I come to him. Boss, what's your name, please?
My name is Constance Kwame Adusu.
Kwame Adusu Constance. Yeah. What role did you play in the 2017 training?
Yeah, was a team. Yes, just one of them.
Mm-hmm. So you trained the young women, all women?
Yes.
60 women are here?
Yes, there were about 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was part of it?
Yes, she was part of it.
But they were not Kaya?
No.
Where did you get them from?
It was an advert put out, and then they applied from various parts. And
they knew that they were coming to learn how to drive the
yes,
buses?
Yes.
So do you teach them general driving or just bus driving?
Just this one was supposed to be tailored to bus driving.
Bus driving.
Yes. But the idea was to give ladies employable skills, train them. These were total novice.
They didn't know anything about driving?
Yeah, nothing about driving at all. Some were hairdressers, some were...
They are not even taught about driving?
Nothing. We were picked from various areas. And
under what program did you do this?
It was GT... Scania was one. It was a collaboration. Yes.
So under what ministry, what agency? NYAP?
It was a government initiative.
A government initiative?
Yes.
For the Ayalolo?
Yes.
So Ayalolo bus policy?
Yes.
I see. How long was the training, Miriam?
This was about 6 months, but after the 6 months, we did some attachments. So let's say approximately 1 year.
Will this not be the first time a government has had any policy to train female drivers to drive public buses? This will be the first time, I think.
Yes, that was the first time.
I'm not 70 years old yet, but I think that from what I remember, we've not had that before. That was the first time.
Yes.
So you came from what background into the driving thing?
So from my side, after SHS, West Africa Senior High School, I enrolled in an NGO known as NEWIC, that is Network.
Did you pay free SHS fees? You pay
Yes.
SHS fees?
Yes, please.
You didn't get free SHS?
No, please.
Oh, sorry. Okay, but I got free bus training.
Yes, please.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Yes. Known as NEWIC, so which is Network of Women in Growth, was founded by Madam Mausi in the Kwawiti. So after the training, we were giving out the forms to apply for the bus driving. So that was where I applied for the bus driving. And then I was picked and trained within the 2017. So after 2017, the bus driving added to the saloon cars that I trained with. That was a certificate in defensive driving at the Armed Forces Transport School.
Oh, you went to Armed Forces Transport School?
Yes, please. That was when the NGO trained us.
Wow.
Yes, please. So with that certificate, I entered into the Ayalolo bus driving. And over there, after the training too, I was awarded a certificate of diploma in professional driving.
I see. So
From
you have
there,
that.
Wow. Yes, please. And that gave me the opportunity to travel to India.
India?
Yes, please.
Mumbai or Delhi?
Delhi.
New Delhi?
Yes, please.
Did you
Also,
see Michael Quay Jr.? He was the ambassador there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you went to train there too?
Yes, please. We went there to encourage young women to also take up male-dominated skills.
So can you teach me how to drive?
Yes, please.
You can?
Yes, please.
So viewers, the story is coming out nicely, isn't it? Joy FM put up something that she was a Kaya. NDC people were jubilating. Oh, Baumia is a liar. Every day Baumia is telling lies. This girl is not a Kayobia. She's on Facebook. She's Miriam. Look at her makeup. Look at her hairstyle. The wig she's wearing. Which Kayo wear dresses like that? There she is again. This photograph went viral. Do people see you in town and say, I know when I see who drive a vice president? Have you got that yet?
Actually, I haven't been out after yesterday.
So tomorrow morning when you go
But the
out?
calls and messages keep coming in, and it's so heartbreaking.
No, but it's not against you. So the story was just, so you also benefited from government training. Okay,
Yes,
now let me walk to the real Kayos who are drivers. And let's see how it works over here. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, my name is Paul. Hello. Yeah, Aisha. Hey. So these are our friends who were head porters and have been trained by the government to be drivers, and they are driving today. Is that correct? Okay, pick the microphone, and you didn't tell them what to do. Pick the microphone.
Yes, please.
Yes, that's correct. So what's your, or how did you get into the training?
Please, I was a Kaya before. Then I was just there, and then one day our leaders came, and then they said they were looking for some Kayas to like train them. They said Dr. Mahmoud Baumia was teaching Kaya skills, and then the bus driving too was part of it. So we came, and then we started the training. We trained for
So
5.
do you drive now, today?
Yes.
Have you driven a car today?
Yes, sir.
A bus?
Yes, please.
You can drive a bus?
Yes.
Can you teach me how to drive it?
Yes.
I was going to ask how old are you, but that's rude to ask a lady how old are you, so I won't ask. Give the microphone to her. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, who can cheap?
Fine.
Inti, can assembly chain, then Obe can't start training well.
Okay. Now me will hold that could be and me uncle Frey, and I'll say the vice president has a program for the Kai people. So I asked, and then he said they have the driving one, and then makeup and many other things. So I decided to choose for the driving one.
So you have learned how to drive?
Yes.
Is it a car?
Yes.
Bus. Is that bus? Is still a so crowd. Where am I saying? You know, mut me.
Yet me pa.
Into who drive a bus from distances ben how far do you go on the Ayalolo journey?
Me kind of could be a drive called Cape Coast, and a sounds a drive called Ho, and
only passengers nana, and only another driver.
Yeni drivers training. And I drive
Cape Coast.
You drive called Cape Coast. And I sound drive called Ho. And a flower.
And they say, are we a Juma or Ayalolo?
Sisia, and one you graduate here.
I'm not a graduate here. Okay.
But my share was say.
When
you best start after the attachment, you best start.
So, we graduate here and no my party.
Yeah, your party kasi.
Where party kasi?
Ah. Yeah, jubilate.
What jubilate here? In si party, they do an event. I'm Coca-Cola. Hana Jollof. For microphone, man. Yeah, for man. So she's going to speak in Dagbani. She said Dagomba. She's going to speak in Dagbani. Yeah, they. Okay, so talk in Dagbani.
So, ampo ya pam kapa. Yulumbo na maamar biaisha. Kan yina bambula. So mbiala yang polo kabsabenu. Besable kan tab ma banza ase. Kama pa man sulo kakana nanta tabsong. Ntabsong manga. Ntabsong ma kan chang tone. Nsong lamba. Kabugbadir dan fa na paani.
Wow. You understand what she said. Explain to us. What did she say?
Okay, so she said she was at home and then they were writing that Baomia is teaching Kaye on like skills, hand skills and other things. So like her colleagues were not like agreeing to come for it. So she decided to come so that she will help herself and then help her parents too.
Shall we clap for herself? And a round of applause to NYEP. Kofi Omosun Kansa is doing wonders. And Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, I think this is amazing, completely amazing. This is so real, so good. I mean, you hear these things and you're always sitting in the bank or sitting in some office in Accra and you don't know the reality of how these young people are being helped. I believe all of this is going to matter 9 days from now. I sincerely believe so. Because one good turn deserves another. And these things are important. They are impactful. This is how leadership impacts society. Not talking, not dancing, talking. No, leadership. It impacts society by solving problems. Mahamudu Bawumia says he's a problem solver. We have been in Ghana here. Did you ever hear any government policy grab young women from the streets and train them, give them a skill like driving, give them a house, place to stay in Medina? Have you ever heard any government policy do that before? From the revolution, people who were shouting, we don't go sit down, made the cheaters holding gun and beating us and killing people and all that they were going to rule our country and make it better. Did you ever hear anything like that? There was nothing like that. On your screens now is the commissioning of the young ladies being commissioned to learn how to drive, on the screen. So this is the impact. This is what it means. Leadership that impacts the people. It's not leadership that is just conversing and talking. No. This is leadership that impacts the people. This is a vice president who is concerned about the people. Young women, what do we do with them? You can dash them 1 cedi every day. They will just go and buy your kegari and it will be finished. But if you give them skills to learn how to drive, the training processes, I mean, wow. It's late. The girls must go to bed. They'll go to work tomorrow. So we're going to end here. Boss, so how do you feel?
Good. Good. It's been great.
Are you still training? Are you guys still in the training process?
Yeah, we are. Training, it's a process. It's not an event. The more you do, I think practically the more better you become.
Are social media editors speaking their messages? Are they picking it? Okay, so let them sit down. Please leave. The two ladies will come and sit down, and then they will give us the last round of text message because we need to capture it. The last round. Yes, you were saying.
Yeah. So I mean, it's real. These are Kaya years, and now we can say 24 young ladies are benefited from. And
these are some of them on the screen.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This is very serious.
That is Aisha.
Oh, that's Aisha who we just spoke to?
Yes.
Ah, wow.
This is Mariam.
Wow.
Yeah. Behind the wheels. So it's real.
Mariam, so you teach me how to drive. So when do we start?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever I'm ready.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. All right. Let's take the text messages and then we'll wrap it up. Where shall I go? Fatih, what are people saying?
All right. Thank you, Paul. So, quite a number of people are so happy with this project Dr. Bawumia embarked on. Coming from Faith Mensah says, Paul, I'm watching you from West Norwood, UK. Great program and kudos to the man with vision for future leaders. Theresa says, changing lives of people. This is beautiful. It's highly possible. God bless DMB and NPP. Abraham Wonder says, God bless Dr. Bawumia. Dumenya says a visionary government is not easy to come by. Blessings, DMB. General E.L. Coleman says change has come and change must continue. It's possible with DMB. Now back to Mr. Anyidoho's story. Nanahima says, wow, Mr. Anyidoho, this is very deep about President Nanado. Freeman says, Anyidoho is making me feel proud as an airman this evening. Koku, we need you in the NPP with your intellectual ability to add up to what we already have. Nanea also says, Koku, you and your generation will never lack good because of your good heart. God bless you. And lastly, coming from Samuel Ofosubai says, Koku, be expecting vicious vilification tomorrow from your colleagues in the NDC for exposing their thoughts about the late Mills, your spiritual father. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, so feedback from the people on the Kayaye story. Yao Febiri says, real testimonies from the Kayaye people managing the electric buses. Gastiman says, I think this particular portion of your show should be taken by the NPP for everlasting until 7 December, especially the Dagbani spoken language. General L. Coleman says the primary purpose of government is to improve the lives of its citizens. I'm super impressed, and I know God will reward DMB with victory because of this Kayaye story. And back to Koku Anyidoho. Nana Kweju says, Honorable Koku, can you please spend a few days in KEA district till elections is over? And lastly, Freeman Akwabili says, Efo Anyidoho is making me feel proud as an everman this evening. Kweku, we need you in the NPP with your intellectual ability to add up to what we already have. I'm super proud of you. Now back to you, Paul.
All right, we'll leave it here. We'll be back with another edition of the program on Tuesday. By then, it will be Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday will come back to Saturday. 9 days to go to the election, and on Tuesday, I'll be in Kumasi in the morning, where the Ghana Airport Company is implementing the all-time big promotion of operationalizing the Prempeh the First International Airport by flying in a passenger plane from London straight to Prempeh the First International Airport. Working hard on that. 18 minutes past the top of that. Thanks for staying with us. It's always a pleasure. Good night.